Okay, so today's going to be an interesting video. First of all, I'm Adrian, Philip and Jay, Audio Excellence Canada. Today's going to be an interesting video because young Padawan here is leaving us. He's going back to school according to him. God only knows what for and which school actually let him back in. But
dirty baby.
Boy, standards have really dropped since I was there.
Nursery schools opened again?
Yeah, 100%.
100%.
So anyway, he's going back. He's doing his master's in electrical engineering.
Electrical and sound engineering.
Remedial masters?
Huh?
Remedial masters? Remedial masters. Masters, but a remedial... You don't understand.
Anyway.
Okay.
So...
This is when you zoom into my face here.
I'm slagging you.
The people commenting the disdain.
I'm distinctly picking on you.
Yeah, so today...
Because you're leaving me, buddy.
No, I'll come back and visit.
Yeah, and so by the way, for all of you who watch the videos and comment about how there's tension, there really isn't. This is how we all interact.
There is tension. It's called love.
Brotherly love. All right, okay. It's a family
fine
show.
line between love and hate.
It's a family show. We don't need that here, okay?
Mostly it's hate.
Yeah. Okay.
So anyway, let me finish the introduction,
yes.
And then we can roast him. Yeah, so basically this video is all about roasting Jay. Now, it'll be done in good fun. We love him. And so this is not, what's the old phrase? We're having fun with him. We're laughing with him. We're not laughing at him.
No, I'm distinctly laughing at him right now.
So
I'm just going to say, that's not how
So we're going to have a great time at his expense. So I wanted to...
you mean we're not making any audio recommendations?
Not today.
Let him finish the intro.
Not today. So today is, what's today's date? September the 4th?
Yes.
Yeah, so he's officially leaving us tomorrow, which is Saturday. Today's Friday. He'll be back once in a while just because he's going back to school. I've asked him if from time to time he can help us out on a part-time basis, and he said yes. So we'll still try and do some videos with him and or, sometimes just catch up with him or he'll be in the
Are you off the
website
yet?
Hmm?
You know, like who we are? Do we take...
Oh yeah, I deleted that myself, yes.
You are?
Yes. Oh,
let me finish. Holy moly. You guys are worse than... Okay, let me finish. So otherwise it'll be forever before we get to open the store.
Well, I thought the whole thing was the intro.
No. Okay, so Jay... So let me read this. Sunday, March the 19th, 3:41 a.m. Hello, I am an university rapper / audio enthusiast in Canada, having presence among my colleagues as a founder / starter of the audiophile clubs in several Canadian universities. I do some reviews on HeadFi, but my focus is definitely on putting worthy audio equipment on my Instagram! I was wondering if you guys would be interested in having any of your headphones on my Instagram and a review! I am just starting up and Canadian audience is small, hence trying to take initiative to expand! Do let me know! Jerry is going to put this text up on the video so you can see.
So I believe at this time you had less than 10 followers?
100.
10 followers?
So this was Sunday, March the 19th, 2017. I replied, "Hi Jay, hope you're well." Oh, no, I actually replied. I forgot to include my reply here.
No, you didn't work for us for 3 years.
Oh, including part-time.
Guys, let me finish. And then you guys can do your husband and wife thing. Then following to that, I did reply
uncle
to...
nephew.
Shut off his mic.
Shut up his mic.
So following to his... so that's how Jay introduced himself to me. He sent me an email out of the blue, took the initiative. And so for many, many years now, I had been concerned about the lack of new blood in our industry. When Philip and I got into this industry, at least in my case, the high-end industry was just starting to bloom. It was in the early 80s, and there was a lot of excitement because you could see new manufacturers discovering the joys of manufacturing great audio gear, new concepts in audio reproduction like sound staging, detail imaging, things like this. And then fast forward 20, 25 years, and there's no blood. My kids have no interest in what I do. We're hardly seeing any young people joining us, and the odd headphone sale doesn't really follow in the industry. And a lot of us in the industry were really concerned about what's going to happen. So then I get this email from Jay, and I'm all excited, and I immediately said, yes, come on in. Let me know when you're coming in, and if I'm not here, the guys will help you. And then shortly afterwards, I also, in the email, said that I would introduce him to a number of our suppliers who are friends, and he could also get to do his reviews with them as well. And so I introduced him to Lily, who is a great distributor friend of ours who imports products like PMC, and at the time it was i-Fi, and what was the personal Hi-Fi Man, but there was another one. You remember the Shanling, and then what was there was one more that she ended up selling to the person that was running for her, the PDA. I call it PDA. The inexpensive Chinese brand of Estel and Kern. Fio, yes. Yeah, she was also importing Fio as well. Anyway, so I introduced him to Lily and a couple other people. And then fast forward, Wednesday, September the 20th, 2017, I emailed Jay. Hi, Jay, I hope you're well. I was wondering if you know anyone who might be interested in working in audio excellence part-time or even full-time. Ideally, someone who is interested in our industry, has some knowledge about the products, has a driver's license, and is physically fit. If you know anyone, please let me know. Reply immediately. I would be personally interested, haha. And so that's the start of 3 years of nightmares with young Jay. So before I go further, let me get Philip to throw in his 2 or 3 cents worth.
Oh, this is going the funeral kind of.
Wait, there's only a half-hour limit on our.
That's
recording.
right. That's right. I'm checking my phone just to make sure.
Oh gosh.
Give me 5 highlights of.
So he's like a succubus.
What?
No. It's funny because it was like everything I was saying. Just for those of you out there, everything I was saying, this guy would take in like a sponge. He would be filter feeding all my good words and thoughts.
And bad. Because a sponge has no distinction, has no filter.
Hardly any bad. Mostly just great, amazing, and stuff that took me 30 years to learn. This guy learned it all in anywhere from a day or, sometimes shorter. Like literally, I said to him one day, you gotta listen to this, you gotta listen to this. And I sat him down, and that's the first time he showed up here, and I played him Sabrina's because he understood what headphones did. And I said, well, headphones don't really do any of that kind of stuff. Listen to this pair of speakers, and then you tell me what you hear. And he sat there, and yeah, you could see his face, his expression was just changing. He couldn't understand. He couldn't believe what he was hearing. It was this, amazing experience, I believe.
It was odd to me. The presentation you did was very odd to me because I walked into this room.
Is Philip's level okay?
And the speakers were set up in a big room.
Yep.
And I'm thinking, is that like display or because there's no way you're playing that, because where I'm from, studio background, you don't put speakers in the middle of the room like that and display. And so I was very, and I didn't even see all the equipment. I didn't know what the hell it was. I'm like, oh, it's some kind of studio gear, measurement or something. And then you play it, and then I'm just like, wait a minute, it actually.
Yeah, all the sound populated the room. It imaged within that space, and
so until that point in time, everything I dealt with was a new field at best, right? So it would be like here, and then this was like.
So the major difference between a headphone experience, for the most part, and real speakers in real space, so not near fields like what we properly set up. Headphones gives you the sound in the middle of your head experience. That's very, very typical. And there have been some things to try and mitigate that effect, but mostly to not great effect. Real speakers in real space give you a sense of real sound in that real space. And that's totally different from headphones. And a lot of people who start with headphones never get to that point, and they wonder why they have headaches, in a sense, because sometimes it can be a little bit, disconcerting, and the kind of distortions that you hear directly with headphones give you pause to, connect yourself to that music. It's more difficult in any case, I believe.
Yeah.
Although I've listened to headphones a lot, probably more than you have.
Just a reminder, this is supposed to be a roast.
So he's sitting there, and then his life changed. I changed his life, right? So that was the first time you showed up to listen to and I made you listen to Sabrina's, because I really wanted, my intention was to corrupt you, and it worked because you totally changed. And then I did mention to Adrian, and Adrian did not tell me about the second part of, that you wanted a job and all that kind of stuff, right?
I told you later.
Well, and I said to Adrian, we should hire this guy because then, we can continue our species. That was my intention. And then lo and behold, you started working here. And I remember that first week I made you listen to Magnepans, 0.7s. And I thought, I'll blow his mind again, right? Because he's a really amazing speaker, very inexpensive, something he could actually afford. Sometime down the road when he actually gets, paid, the next day you said, or the next week, it was like, oh, Philip, I bought a pair. So this continued the trend that's been going on for years now, and mostly it was at the beginning because I would mention something, and then invariably a day or two later, you would tell me, oh, Philip, I got that. Yeah. And so I knew you had graduated, kind of, when you stopped telling me what you bought, and then I would find out after the fact that you bought all this other stuff that I sort of recommended, and it led to other things, and you had all these experiences that had nothing to do with the store. So I knew automatically that, yes, our job was done. So it's no surprise that you're leaving us.
That's the worst roast I've ever heard in my life. By the way, guys, our friend Richard, friend and agent, super agent / distributor is here. He decided to join us because, especially now that we've seen how terribly Philip roasts, we need help.
This is just the audio portion. You want me to do something personal?
No.
Well, I thought this was just simply my long-requested complaint about Jay video session.
That's right.
It's not happening.
Go ahead. Exactly.
You complimented him. This
That's
is not going
right.
in the right direction.
I have some shit.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, so let Richard Richard throw one.
I don't know. I'm miffed with Jay in general. First time I met him, I got excited. I told him I wanted to start and become an active member of a K-pop band, singing and dancing. He laughed at me. He's laughing at me right now.
Hey, for those of you, there's supposedly videos of this guy rapping.
No.
Go find them.
No.
He's not using his name Jay or Brandon, which was he used to go by before, but some other Korean thing.
No.
That's how he made all his money.
What?
Well, I have to see. I was aware of it.
Your mom forced you to work.
Yeah, that's true. But I didn't get paid enough for that.
But there are videos of this guy. So you guys are out there, figure it out.
Don't do it.
And send the link to me.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
So Richard,
Jerry, cut this part out.
I'm not too comfortable in front of the camera, but it was important for me to come. It's nice. First time I met Jay and get to know him. Obviously, youthful enthusiasm in our industry, which is great, and promoting it among other, not only youth, but the public in general. That's great as well. But I also want to thank all of you, actually, for...
this is turning out to be the worst roast in the world.
Sorry.
Seriously.
But,
just put sad music in the background.
pathetic.
It's like I'm dying.
I wanted to put it in the public domain.
Absolutely pathetic.
Thank you to all of you, actually, for your enthusiasm of, obviously, Hegel and Inuos, which I represent. And you, obviously, with the videos you've done, we need to have people see and
Jerry,
gather
cut to me.
enthusiasm.
Add sad music in the background, like some violin, some harp.
The funeral dirge.
Well, I didn't want to talk about the time I pulled you from a raging river and saved your life and never was thanked for it.
Or how about when we brought him to a strip club, he got so drunk, we had to rescue him from that old woman that was grinding into his lap.
This never happened.
What do you mean never happened?
Just to be clear, this never
The
happened.
brass rail. Didn't you get your...
I've never been to a strip club
Yeah.
in my life.
Do you want to go?
No. All I hear is horror stories. Where the hell would I want to go?
You can bring Rebecca.
No.
You go, oh, you can make money doing this?
Now we're going the
It's
wrong
funny because
direction.
actually I had a friend during university, and her dream was to become a stripper. She's like, that's my dream job.
$1,000 a day,
I'm like,
$2,000
why are you
a
in
day.
university? Yeah. Anyway.
All right, let me throw in a couple of
Yes.
cents worth,
Thank
just
you.
because,
Thank you.
unfortunately, right after this, we have to do another video. So I said earlier, ever since he started, it's been almost 3 years of nightmares. So number one, always late. What a pain in the ass in my butt it is. He drinks all my coffee. He never buys any. Never. Not once. Always on his cell phone. Always on his cell phone. Am I wrong?
How is that a roast?
I know, but it's better than yours.
This is like.
I was praising him.
These are complaints. These are complaints. Yeah.
Okay.
We have
Yeah.
to take roast 101 courses.
That's
obviously.
right. I know.
Yeah.
This is horrible. He leaves big messes everywhere. Everywhere he
come on.
goes. His table is at the front of the store, right? He's got a little work table right there. And it's like the biggest mess in the world. Drives me crazy. Coffee stains, food stains. He's got food stains everywhere.
At least you know where to find them. That's where
My
you'll
Why
find
do you
them.
even eat in the front?
Oh, this one, we'll see how he reacts. He can't tell the difference between in phase and out of phase when he hooks up speakers. No, you can't.
What?
Yes, I wanted to see what his reaction was.
What?
You know,
So the last couple of times, let me just tell you, last couple of times where he's done setups, right, and I would walk into the room to listen. I'm going, this is out of phase. I check it, and sure enough, it's out of phase. And I would just very quietly ask, so what do you think of the system? And he'd say, oh, whatever it is. And he's the one that hooked up. It's out of phase. So check your phasing. my
you know,
young
I've done.
friend.
I did a demo one time
Yeah.
for a bunch of Chinese audiophiles, like
Yeah.
I don't know, 4 or 5. They hang out together. They came in. They wanted to listen to My Tech Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Hooked it up. It was all out of phase. I did the entire demo. This, spouting like really nice things about it, and not one of them said anything. So it's not that common that
It's-
you have that superpower and we don't,
You're
especially
talking
this
about
guy.
absolute phase.
No,
Out of phase. Like
Absolute phase is
left and
different.
right channel are out of phase.
I can tell that.
Well, you certainly didn't prove it.
No, in the moment, especially I've seen it several times over the years at the trade shows and that, in the moment, just the heat of the moment and whether it's stress or so, some people set up and they don't just...
Well,
they
one
don't
thing that
focus
does
on
happen when it is out of phase, left and right channel, if you sit in the absolute center where the
Right.
focus is, you should be able to tell really easily. But if you're actually sitting off to one side, it's not that easy to tell.
And also, if it was in the morning, I believe it. In the morning, I don't care if it's out of phase.
No, this was not in the morning.
But in the morning, it's often an out-of-body experience for you. Your body is here, but your
Yeah.
mind is still...
Yeah.
But it's something some people are more sensitive to than
Yeah, no,
others.
for
Some
sure.
are, with me, I usually get a sense right away, but others,
drove me
it's
crazy
not
with the
it's not an
JBL.
issue.
Well, yeah, absolute phase for me is not a big deal.
Well, absolute phase
if I
matters
pay
too.
attention,
Yeah, that's-
Because sometimes
I'll pick
when
it
it's
up, but
doing...
it's not.
There's two conversations happening.
Yeah.
Jerry's gonna have a hard time. But I want to actually share a story. So I bought the JBL L300 based on Philip's recommendation.
Which he didn't tell me about. I found out months after the fact.
So, and that's the single speaker that stayed in my place the longest, especially because it was so big. And I was searching up, and I couldn't get bass out of this damn thing.
And how big are these speakers? Tell everybody.
15-inch woofer, gigantic,
not enough.
enormous.
It's 100 and some
And-
pounds.
So, and by the way, I had it in a smallish room, and people were asking, "Is that to boot me there?" No, hell no. It was no
No
bass.
bass.
and Philip was telling me this thing has so dynamic. It's so dynamic. It's it punches like no tomorrow. I'm like, what is he talking about? I mean, did I get a fried like? So I took out the drivers, looked if it was the original model, checked the crossover, everything. I thought someone modified it or pushed it or whatever. No, it was perfectly fine, mint condition, and there was no bass. So I'm searching online. Why is there no bass? No, and then this guy suggesting that the wiring on the JBLs is the red is negative and black is positive for God knows what reason. And on some models, it is the opposite. So I'm thinking, okay, so I'm switching back and forth. And surely enough, when I switch and have the black one there's bass. So when I switch, it has bass. So I'm thinking, why the hell would anyone do this? I thought this was supposed to be a good speaker. And I come to Philip and I complain. And he's telling me about this absolute phase thing. And I'm just going like, why? So for like about a month and a half, I'm thinking this speaker sucks. There's no bass.
No, but that's still not absolute phase. That's still relative phase.
Yes.
So the left and right speakers were out of phase to each other.
Yeah.
But there's absolute phase, which means, when
The source.
the original sound, the woofer is being pushed this way, and that's an absolute phase.
Yeah.
So if the woofer should be going this way, and it's actually going this way, then that's out of phase, out of absolute phase. So there's a small difference there, but relative phase is.
Yeah.
But internally, it was wired incorrectly.
Yeah.
And that's why you were getting that canceling happening. Because I played that speaker and that thing. That thing really rocks.
I was like.
Before the battery runs out, Jay, do you have any interesting moments in the store that you want to share, good or bad?
Interesting moments.
What was the first sale you did in the store?
Oh, that's pretty funny too.
Natalia.
Yes.
Because I gave that sale to you.
Final audio headphone sale.
How did you feel when you made your first sale?
How did I feel? I felt like I could stay in the store.
So let me give you a little preface to that. Because this boy here couldn't sell a damn thing for months. And then I felt so sorry for him. We had this new client come in, Natalia, and one of the first females that we had actually in the store that from the time I started working here. And I said, and she was interested in headphones. I said, immediately, Jay's got to do this. So I passed her on to Jay to make sure that he would get.
And that's when I first learned that sales is not what it seems to be. Meaning, the reason I couldn't, I've never been in sales. Okay, and the idea of selling something, you typical Wall Street, sell me this pen kind of thing, right? I'm like, man, I don't know if I can do this. And with Natalia, what taught me was that I was literally talking to her about the headphone out of passion. Wasn't necessarily saying, this is what you should get. Go give me money, give me your money, right? Which was what I perceived sales to be. But then I was just talking to her out of passion of how good this headphone is. And she started telling me her needs. And, the headphone seems to be a perfect fit for what she needed. And so I told her the benefits of, having the headphone with the armature driver and so on. And, she bought it. And I was like, oh. Okay.
Well, she was not an easy sell either because she's the type of person who reads everything that she can find online.
She was on one of our episodes, you know that, right?
I know that.
Yeah. So I mean, that really taught me that, this is more, and I saw from then on more of as a consulting for the person's need rather than, sell me this pen kind of attitude.
But that it's also good to be passionate.
Yeah.
It's how I've worked. Obviously, it's driven me a lot. Pros and cons, being maybe a little too passionate versus Mr. But it's how I drive.
Wait. But there's passionate and then there's passionate because I remember there was an event here at the store. We do these events, these nice events where audiophiles of all sorts, all sorts of races, creeds, ages, et cetera, they come to the store and they look at the great equipment that we have, and we do demos with it. And I remember that I thought, wow, okay, we have all this staff now, including Jay. That should be a no-brainer. It'll be an easy event. And then, of course, during the event, I'm going like, how come I'm doing all the work? And then I went looking for Jay to get him to help me to do something. And I find him in the corner of one of the sound rooms up front with his friend Rebecca. At the time, it was very early on in your relationship, and you were just, well, you two were into each other a lot in that room.
Okay, it was like a month into the relationship. Give me a break, and
But you were at a store event, and you were supposed to be helping out, and there you were just, making out instead of helping out.
So
The passion got the best of him.
Yes, that's why I mean,
thank you
like,
for that.
there's a
Yeah,
passion, there's passion.
no, there is. I
Well
wanted
put,
to-
well put.
The thing I do is, that was a
He was
mistake.
21.
That was a mistake. I admit.
The wind blows and he.
But I like to invite my friends to the store whenever I can, and Rebecca was like the perfect person to bring this in, because I asked her on the first date, do you know what an audio file is? And she's like, a what file? And I'm like, no, audio file, like people who love audio. And she's like she's looking at me like, I like music. So like I needed her, and I said, I'm talking about big speakers, big amplifiers, big stuff. And then she's like, okay. And I'm just like, okay, I need her to understand exactly what I mean. So I need her to see it, and that was a perfect opportunity. So, and then that was a mistake.
Yeah, you did make her sit down and
she was
listen.
not really interested in the equipment. She was interested in the music, but she was not really interested.
Thank God she likes you.
Yeah, and I really needed to work.
Well, you two are still together, so that's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
All right. Well, as you can see, this is the world's worst roast.
My
And
apologies.
I think a large part of it is because he's very dear to us, and it's very hard to make fun of somebody that you care about. So let's wrap this up. Before I do that, Jay's leaving us, as you kind of get from this video. I am looking for somebody to help out part-time. So if you're interested, or you know somebody who's interested, send me an email, info@audioexcellence.ca. Jerry will put the link down in the description box. Well, just send it there. If you have interest, a bit of description about what you like, things like this, maybe a resume. And you need to be obviously somewhat local, driver's license. You have a car so you can get here, because unfortunately where we are, public transport is not exactly easy.
I did it for 2 years.
Yeah, well. And
Passion.
yes, that's right. And so anyway, Jay, congratulations to you.
Thank you.
Yes, congratulations.
We'll see you again, obviously, on a regular basis, hopefully.
Yeah.
And good luck to you. And don't be a stranger. Come on by once in a while.
For sure.
But this time, bring coffee.
Yes,
Don't just
I'll
come
bring
and drink my coffee.
The title of this video, Jerry, by the way, is Jay's gone. We're hiring.
Have fun. Have fun. There you go.
Well, I'm Adrian, Richard, Philip, Jay. Thanks very much for watching this weird video. We'll see you again. Bye-bye.
Yeah, wait till we have to edit.